So hi, Kate. How you
Hi,
doing? It is
excellent,
it is the bewitching hour. We have some people that'll be streaming in here in just a moment, but I want to go ahead and get started at 2 o'clock.
excellent. Let's
Oh,
roll.
yeah. So a Page of Swords is who we're talking about today.
Yes, that little devil.
I know, and you know what? I feel terrible, but I just don't like him. I and
Now, what don't you? Why do you have the heebie-jeebies with the page of
well,
sword?
let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Here we go. First place, I think he's a tattletale and a know-it-all. And you know what? This is somebody who has trouble keeping a secret, and they tend to gossip, and they make promises that they don't keep. But I have a saying that I used to like, and it really in business, and it really holds true for this guy. I think there's three stages of professionalism. There's
Mhm.
somebody who's really meek and really mild, and they don't know very much, and they're real humble because they don't know very much. Then
Yeah.
there's the stage two professional where they get a little bit of knowledge and they think they know it all. And then there's the guy that's arrogant and egotistical and he knows everything. Just ask him, he'll tell you because he really does, because he's been around so long. So to me, the Page of Swords is definitely phase two. He just has a little
Mhm.
bit of knowledge and he thinks he knows it all. But for the good, he really does fight for good causes and he's not afraid to stand up and say what he thinks. So
Mhm.
but one of the best phrases I ever found for the Page of Swords is he represents the wounded child in all of us. And I thought it was pretty cool. So how do you feel about him? And are you more, do
Well,
you
I
see the
think
better side of him or
I almost think we're talking about two different cards here.
oh my
Because
gosh.
again, much like we had with our friend, what was it, the
Oh
page
yeah, the
of
the the Knight of
and
Cups.
so yes, I agree that with this page, there is the element of secrets. There are secrets kind of always involved in it. And you see him looking over his shoulder. So there is that element of dishonesty that you brought up about kind of, I mean, he's often referred to as the spy.
Yeah.
And there's always an undercurrent with him of loss or trouble or great force or violence, unexpected difficulty, sudden opposition coming up. You see those storm clouds in the background of the RWS, and that
Yeah.
a symbolic representation of a stormy
Trouble of
part of your
Bruin.
life coming up, or clouded judgment that's coming in.
Oh, I
But
love Clouded Judgment. I love
yeah,
Clouded Judgment because he's so immature because he's at the low end of the
he
totem
is,
pole,
and all
you know?
pages are. And so you get that impetuousness that you also
Right.
brought up there. I think, and I thought I read this, a while I was getting ready for this podcast, and someone says, if you're going to pick a literary character to represent them, it would be Hamlet, Shakespeare's Hamlet.
See,
So
and
that
I'm not, and I have never read
observation.
Hamlet, so I don't have that reference point. But so
Well, he was suspicious that things were going on, and he was trying to, um, gin it up and get things going, and he suspected that his mother and his stepfather were in collusion for having killed his father, the king,
yeah,
and so he went through various shenanigans trying to push them to the where they proved their guilt of the murder of the king,
ah,
right?
okay,
And that's kind of what so I thought that was kind of cool. And the medieval virtue that was associated with this page is justice itself.
yeah.
um and that's he carries the page of the sword of truth, or some people call it the sword of king.
Which is not good as a lover because they tend to be way too blunt. So
Yeah.
I want to stop for a minute. Hi, Dee.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing, hon?
Nice to see
good.
you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. I am in a borrowed motorhome right now because it's too windy to sit outside. So somebody took me in and is letting me do this in their house, in their own house. So that's really great.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I came something in passing that I was telling Kate. I said a phrase that I found: the wounded child in all of us. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Do you
Okay.
do you love or hate this particular page?
Well, yeah, to me, he's a pain. When he shows up, it's like, ugh, you know, because I always feel like he's throwing me stuff to rethink it. I call him connecting the dots guy.
Oh.
Because he doesn't, it's like you haven't looked at everything. He's questioning me, or sometimes I think of it as someone out there has got their eye on you, or is going to be adding to the situation. But yeah, he just throws me off. I always want to throw another card because it's like, what does he have to say? He's my true clarifier card. So I always do that.
So I'm seeing, and of course, disappointing news and possible delay, just like the 8th. But I have here, when he shows up, or he shows up when we are contending with a suspicious situation, and maybe it's warning us to doubt somebody's sincerity or question their motives. But I also found, when it appears, you're going to receive communication from someone about the cold, hard truth.
Yeah. Especially if it's at the end of the spread. Then it's like, okay, it's not over yet. You're going to still hear something about it.
So let me ask you, because I don't have a bunch of decks, and I don't have any decks in front of me today, but doesn't the doesn't the Page of Swords have both hands on the sword in all cards?
There he is.
Does he? Because I found, because I have under personal growth in my journal, you need to learn to speak the truth, even if it rubs people the wrong way. But it says that the two hands on the sword tells us to approach a situation with both left and right brain thinking.
Oh,
that's nice.
Okay. And I've always kind of looked at that as being he's all in, right?
Yeah.
Kind of throws caution to the wind. Once again, back to that young energy and him being very immature, because he is. He doesn't sit back and think about, we have to do X, Y, Z. He's just on the go.
I have a card from the Mystic, I'm trying to remember what the name of it, Mystic something. And this page has one hand, he's holding a big dandelion. He's only got one hand on it, but yet the hat on his head is that of a graduate.
So hold it up so we can see it better.
Where do I hold it? How's
All
that?
the way up to the camera. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I see the graduate. So he's graduating. And the book underneath him, he's standing on all those books. That's interesting.
So when you see a dandelion, what do you think about?
Well, I don't think about the Page of Swords.
No.
Seeds scatter, so it could have something to do with scattered thinking.
Scattering thinking, yep. To the wind, something to the wind.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is weird. Well, I don't know of anybody now that has anything good to say about him. I mean, other than he means well, and
he's an obstacle. That's okay.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? So when you see him in a reading, or when he comes up in a line of reading, so okay, I'll throw some on. So let's use like, I don't know, let's use like the Celtic cross, and the Page of Swords comes up in the forward, or the sixth position, which is the short-term future.
Yeah.
So when you see him come up in the short-term future, what are you thinking? I mean, what do you think about him at that time? I guess I'm taking this out of context. So, I need to know, I've been offered a job, and I need to know the ramifications if I decide to take this job. Now we have a 10-card spread, of which number 6 is the Page of Swords. So we know that we're taking a different direction because he's a page. We know that there's some news coming. We don't know if that news, though, is going to be disappointing news. It's going to be a news of delay, or if it's going to be good news. I mean, we don't know. So
that's why I throw out that connecting the dots. Have I checked everything?
Both of you guys like to throw a clarifier on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I always pages. I always pull a clarifier for.
I do too. I do too.
So I've been offered a job and I'm trying to decide whether or not I should take it. I mean, I have a lot of things to consider, but the Page of Swords comes up. Throw a clarifier and tell me what you see. She'll run for her deck. She loves us.
Okay. Clarifier for a Page of Swords. All right.
Clarifier based on the fact that all the
For a job, career, and he's in the 6th position. So what do I need to do?
Yeah.
All right.
And this isn't a future position.
Oh, you're gonna love this. First of all, my clarifier
Don't tell me it's the Queen of Swords. I'll kill you.
No, but it was the Page of Swords came out.
You know, you are way too psychic. You drive me nuts.
I know. And so I threw a second card and it was the 8 of Swords. So are you stuck up in your mind? Or is there something that you haven't quite pictured in that?
Or you can't believe you got the job?
Exactly. Is it unbelievable? I'm throwing one more card. Come on.
Look. Check this out, Dee.
Yeah.
Kate's got the 7 of Cups.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
We just don't believe this God is out there for us. We don't believe we're worth this job. Yeah.
That's perfect.
The other thing too, when I get the Page of Swords, if there's a lot of cups in the reading, or especially if the Page of Cups is there, it's this whole idea of your emotions taking over, right? And kind of pushing rational thought out of the way, and that you're basing everything on an emotional desire. It's what you want as opposed to what you're working
as opposed to overthinking it with the Page of Swords. You know, overthinking the situation.
Yeah.
You know, or making decisions without having all the answers, which is perfect for the 7 of Cups pulled with him. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well,
that's perfect. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That makes him really feel like you need him in it. Otherwise, you just kind of put him to the side and say, "Well, we'll see."
Gosh, I could have made $50 with that. I'm so disappointed that we're not gonna. I'm not doing these festivals. Oh gosh, I'm so. So let's talk. All right, so we talked about work. I mentioned before you came on. I mentioned that in love life, when he comes up in a love reading. He really, because he's immature, and because he just likes to tell the cold hard truth, it's really hard to be in a relationship with someone like him. I have in my journal, let me tell you what I have. Think of a date where the connection is more intellectual than romantic. And in love questions, the Page of Swords points to mild conflict.
Yeah.
So it's time to, it might be time to back off,
Yeah.
And it's, hope, communicate without the need to be right. And
okay, so
that's hard to do because I'm always in our relationship. I'm always right.
So I'm going to ask you this. Do you ever look at the next card? If he comes up, what's the next card?
No.
Okay.
So the next card for you was the 8 of Swords.
Yeah, it was. So that's why. So if I pulled this up and he was at the bottom of the deck, I would pull this card, him away, and see what the next card is, which is, in my case, the Chariot, which means I'm going to be moving ahead, and yet it'll be a little slower than what I probably want.
Really? Now, see, I see the Chariot as, off he goes.
I know, but I got a Page of Swords in front of it, so I just got a little spit on it. I'm only got half a tank of gas instead of a full tank.
So when it comes to finances, you want to hear something really funny? This is out of my journal now. Be careful not to assume you know more than you do. The page can indicate skimming the surface of matters. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. I like that.
I mean, if you look at kind of all the court cards, I mean, I always think of the king and the queen as being representing wisdom or earned knowledge, and the knight and the page they ain't there yet. This guy is going to eventually become the King of Swords, but he ain't there yet. Not even in the same postal code.
So
Right,
I,
right.
so,
He's fumbling.
so I've assigned various cards to various people. And when I see, and by the way, I just put a video up last night. I don't know if anybody got a notification of it, but I just put a video up last night. It's called "Which Tarot Card Are You?" And in the crux of things, what I'm saying in this video is, I am the king. Astrological correspondence makes me the king of wands, but I resonate with the Queen of Swords. That's always been my go-to gal, and I know that
Yeah.
I know that my everything, all my numbers, all my astrological stuff, I know nothing has anything to do with the Queen of Swords, but that's who I am in these cards. But when I assign different people, but it's not exactly who they are that you bring. It's that energy that they bring. What do I feel when I think of my friend Vicky? What do I feel when I think of the Emperor, my father? What do I feel when I think of the Page of Swords? And I equate the Page of Swords to one of my brothers, one of my three brothers, because because he always has an ulterior motive for everything he says and everything he does, and you just never know. And he can be a good guy sometimes, but it's usually to his advantage. And I don't mind saying that publicly. But
But it really is.
Okay.
I mean, you would expect that of the Page of Swords because his strength is communication,
Yeah.
right? And
Exactly.
communicating to his own purposes, yeah,
Mhm.
that goes right there with it.
yeah, he's a real charmer. I mean, he can charm the pants off of, so and
But I
that's
always
what I
see
think of.
him messing up and cutting himself. Like, oops, I swung that too
Oh,
quick.
it's funny because
Oops, I made it go that far.
when we were young, and I'm talking teenage years, he got in trouble. He got caught every time he did something wrong. He got caught, and I never did. I never got caught, but he always got caught, and I always felt like he resented me because I thought I was smarter than he was because I never got caught and he did. And actually, it's probably true, but that's the guy. But you're right. That's the guy that always gets caught up, because they're so arrogant, they have that arrogance that they think that they're going to get away with something, and they don't. So
No.
so when I see that come up, I go, oh, especially, I do these monthly zodiac readings, and I do, work life. And I always think, oh gosh, you know what, you better be careful. There's someone around you that's just not quite all there, it's I just see trouble brewing every time that I see him come up. I would like to see him in a lighter light. I would like to see a better side of him. And you know what, that might be part of what I'm going to be doing this next year, because I am going to go through and personalize. I talk in my video that I just posted today, or last night. I talk about taking on a project. I challenge my viewers to sit down with a composition book, one page for each card, 78 cards, and personalize every single card with a situation or either that you've been through personally, or someone or some situation you've witnessed, or that of somebody, a story that really brings out the essence of how you feel or how you resonate with that card. And I think if you can do that, and then you lay the cards out, it's the energy that you're going to feel, because you're going to instantly connect with those cards. Now it's a matter of conceptual blending, right? Vince, Petici, being able to take those individual situations and find a way to weave the story with that. And how could that change your perception of those cards or that storyline, right? That makes sense? No
Yeah,
one's
I really
smiling.
think that's a
Yeah.
great, I
Sorry.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I'd like to go ahead and do that. And actually, I think that would be a great book afterward. Once I get it done, that might be a nice digital content, something or other. So, Kate, what you got going? Anything in particular? Anything exciting or?
No, I'm scheduled for surgery this week, and so until that gets, and I'm on the other side of that, probably not much at all.
Now, is that LASIK? Is it LASIK you're going for?
No, they're doing something with macular degeneration and
Oh.
that sort of stuff.
Oh,
Although
Yeah.
fortunately, I only have to have one eye done because the left eye has healed mostly on its own.
Oh, yay.
So
Okay.
yay,
That's
so
great.
I'm very, and I knew that because my vision in my left eye has returned a lot.
So do you think that I know that, your bent is political tarot, and I know that you've been vacillating. Have you heard, I mean, have your viewers been writing to you? Have they been saying,
No,
have you
no,
asked
they
them what they
haven't,
want?
and it's fine because I'm really thinking that I need to take an abrupt change in direction. Just the toxicity in the political scene period is too much. I
It's
just
just
can't
heating
deal with it.
up. It's just heating up. We got
I
like all kinds of
know,
crazy
and
stuff
that's what
here in
I'm
the US.
thinking, and 2024 will be hell on wheels. And
oh,
and
We
then
need
with
your
all of,
input.
and all that's going on, and so I think right now I'm gonna do a series, I think, on the major arcana. And I think, and then
That would be
see how I
good.
feel about going back to doing the political tarot after that. And I'm gonna start doing my new moon and full moon
Oh, that would be great.
spreads, right? Because I really enjoyed those. I gave them up for political, and I just need to back off. I'm still having issues with the negative energy. I absorbed a lot and didn't take care of myself.
Well, I would think you do well to ask your, constituency what they want. But I
Yeah.
think that your analytical approach and your ability to convey what it is that you're trying to say, I think that makes you a good teacher. And I think that I think people would get a lot out of I'd like to see what you're going to do, and you're bent on the major arcana. I think that would be really interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to go back into I want to start I want to do a series on the Celtic cross yet. I want to do, I never did finish my series on 3-card, but I felt like, I got bored with it. But I have, and again, I have 6.5 pages, single space typed titles of
Yeah.
videos I want to do. And unfortunately,
Good.
that would be good, but it's unfortunately now it's analysis paralysis because
Yeah.
I just can't decide what I want to do, and then I don't do anything. But
Yeah.
we
Need an idea? Call Lynn.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you and I've done that. I've given you idea. I mean,
Yes, I know.
we've
You
been
are.
doing it.
You're just like the idea factory.
Yeah, he's on a roll.
Now,
He's always on a roll.
so for my constituents, it's Kate Tarot Cafe on YouTube. So and Dee, you are my best friends and family tarot reader ever. And so you've done festivals with me, but you're not doing anything this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So
No.
so what's going on with you? What do you got going this week? Anything exciting
Well,
this month?
here's what I did. I went to my cards and asked, how good am I mechanically? Who do I need to tune into? Which one of you guys is up for the task? And it basically said, research, do your research. That's what my card said. And I have been working with my cards a whole lot because they just are kind of annoying me this lately, or I can't read them. There's so much information they're giving me. So I went to YouTube. Our boat motor was not working very well, and got on YouTube, asked the question, why is this not working? It came up, thermostat.
Wait, the cards told you thermostat.
Lefty goes out and it's a thermostat, comes back. Yes. And because it said heat, everything was fire, no water. And so we put a new thermostat in the boat, and it runs like a dream. So I'm going back to listening.
So strange. You are my strangest friend ever.
I gotta keep trying these things.
Yes, well, stay away from my motorhome because I've had enough repairs now. I don't want to hear about repairs. Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Now I'm going to work with electricity on the boat. What do you think my chances are? Think I'm going to light it up?
I don't know, but but you better have it running because we're going to be there in a couple of weeks, and we expect to be on the lake.
I know.
So I don't know what.
That's why I'm working on it now.
I don't know what happened to Yvonne today. She is kind of, it looks like she's kind of missing. Now, Anne Marie is, I think they just got back. They went on holiday. She's from Ireland, and they went on holiday, and she's from Ireland. They went to Spain on holiday. They just got back, but her brother scheduled a dinner for tonight. They're 6 hours ahead of us. So she said, and she wrote to me today and said, "Oh, I so don't want to miss this," that she was going to like break away and sneak away and try to join us for a little while. I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get together next month. It's not that big of a deal." Anne Marie and I have been talking. She would like to do a video, but she doesn't want a channel, but she would like to do a video on all of the things that you never needed to know about the symbolism from Pamela Coleman. And so things like, why does the 7 of Wands, why is he wearing 2 different shoes? Because have you ever noticed he's wearing 2 different shoes?
Yes.
And and what is the point of the snail on the 9 of Pentacles? There's a snail in front of her.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles.
Crab.
The lady, and there's a snail down there. And there were some other things like that she was, that she has a list, and she sent me kind of a list of things. I said, you pick your top 10 favorite that you think are the most interesting to talk about, and we'll throw something together.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
and we were going to do it and last month, and we just never got around to it. But I will try to get that on and get that up this month sometime. So anyway, I anything else? Any last words on the Page of Swords? No.
No, he is what he is.
Yeah. He's the secrets. There's something about him that you don't quite know. And I like how you put it, Dee, about the connecting dots. There's more coming. You haven't seen everything. There is some information that you are not aware of right now. And yeah.
So
it's not over yet.
You put him and the moon together, and you're in trouble. Run for the
yeah, and that's me. I'm the moon. Woo.
Yes, you are. So, what do you want to talk about next?
Goosebumps.
What do you want to talk about? Should we get away from actual cards? Should we do actual cards like every other month and do a different topic? I had a couple in mind, and I forgot to bring my notes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so displaced.
I'm good with anything, to tell you the truth. I just enjoy spending with you ladies.
Yeah, anything you want to throw out there, I'm good with. Well, Lynn, you're the queen, no pun intended.
The queen of too much information, they call me.
Of all that stuff. Come on.
And ideas. You're the queen of ideas.
Well, I'll tell you
are
what,
the queen of ideas.
I'm going to, for the constituency, I'm going to get together with all of you and throw out some ideas for next month. And then I'm going to put them in the comments below on this video so that whoever is, checking out this video will then see what we're going to talk about next month. How's that?
Sounds good.
We'll go with something something other than a card, but I think people like the card, they like that. And so maybe we'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, all right, then we are at 32 minutes and we wanted to be like a 30-minute thing. So why don't we call it a day? And I'm so glad to see all of you. And I will be in someplace completely different the next time that you see me. All right, guys.
Yes. Happy trails.
Thanks. Well, you take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Good to see you all.
Bye.